Sickos Club.
Sickos Club.
Hello, everybody. Happy spooky season. That's right. It is well, we're recording this early, so Wednesday, when this show is out, it'll be the first day of October. How about that shit? Anyway, this is The Hard Way. I am Brett Michelle, joined, as always, by my little pocket pal, Blade. Blade, hello. Say hi to the people.
What? How did we become pocket pals? I don't get that.
One thing just led to another, baby.
Oh, my God.
And also here is Professor Degree. Hi, Professor.
Yes, it's me. It's me. Blade, it's Professor Degree.
Yeah!
I know you love the intro. I was thinking about spicing it up this week and going with, it's Professor Degree. But
well, you just did, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. I did. Now you get two for
You
the price
just
of one.
double did that fucking intro.
I did, because I wanted to piss you off, Blade. That's why.
Well, you did.
Thank
You did.
you.
You're welcome.
And joining us
You.
for a special spooky season treat to kick off the month, we are joined by Sicko extraordinaire, the one, the only, Books and Bodyslams. Christy is here. Hello, Christy.
Yay.
What up?
Hello. You also forgot my new title, AEW's Bestie.
AEW's bestie. That's right. I don't know how I missed that. I'm so sorry.
She's getting social media responses from the Bucks and from AEW now.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, I think they all hate me, probably.
They love us. Are you kidding me? They love Sickos Club.
Jay, I'm sorry that I'm always in your DMs talking about Mary Tyler Moore. Anyway.
Oh, my God. What are we here to talk about, Brett?
We're here to talk about a fantastically mediocre little show, but probably one of the better Halloween Havocs there's ever been. That's right. We're talking about Halloween Havoc 1997, presented by Slim Jim, a.k.a. Halloween Havoc Snap Into the Madness. Did you know that was the name of the tagline of the show?
I did not, but they went hard on the Slim Jim promo.
They did.
So.
TKO saw this pay-per-view and said, "Hold my beer." Like,
yeah,
Jesus.
they said, hold my prime. Is what
hold
they
my
did.
can of Slim Jims.
Yeah.
I was quite literally surprised when I heard presented by Slim Jim.
Because that Rey and Eddie match is like a legendary match, and like I always forget, like it's like there's Slim Jim turnbuckles.
Right. Well, ring posts, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's everywhere.
So we should explain why Christy is our resident expert today, right? Which is, Christy, you've never seen this show until today.
No, I've never seen any WC. This is my first full-length WCW show.
Really?
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Welcome to the party.
We're the nerds who watch this shit our whole lives, right? And you're a little newer to the game, and you have some thoughts, and we will get your thoughts on each and every match. Now I'm done, Brett. Let's get into this show, shall we?
All right, so this was the 9th annual Halloween Havoc presented by WCW. It took place on October 26th, 1997 from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Fuck the Raiders. There were 12,457 in attendance. Your commentators for the night, we had handsome Tony Schiavone, little babyface Tony, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Mike Tenay, and old marble mouth Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, did
Mean Gene Oakland was your interview. No, I swear to God, there was a part in this where Dusty Rhodes, he was just like, I'm a doobie-dooby-dooby, you got that hair like me,
Yeah, I mean, I rewound that so many times, trying to figure out what the fuck he was saying. So, fun fact, this was actually the first WCW pay-per-view that I ever watched. It was also the last WCW pay-per-view that I ever watched.
Well, that you paid money for, right?
Right, exactly, yeah. Until now, 30 years later, when I'm forced to rewatch them because of this
On
show.
the cock. Yep.
Well, Mean Gene Okerlund was your interviewer. Your ring announcers were Michael Buffer and David Penzaire. And your referees for the evening were Randy Anderson, Mark Curtis, Scott Dickinson, Mickey J, a newly joined Charles Robinson, and as always, Nick Patrick. And we open with a sweet little promo video for the Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan cage match that is going to be taking place. And then we take a little stop at the commentary desk to join Dusty, Shivani, and the Brain. And then we get into the first match. So, Blade, why don't you take us away there, buddy?
Well, thank you, Brett. I'm happy to do that. All right.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Kicking us off, we got the young up-and-comer Yuji Nagata, Blue Justice, before he's even blue.
Is that Blue
Facing
Justice?
Blue Justice. This is like his moniker in Japan. He's like a two-time IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. After this, he's an old man now, but he still wrestles sometimes.
With Sonny Ono's dorky ass.
Yeah. So you have Sonny Ono's, Eric Bischoff's best buddy, Sonny Ono. And he is facing not the Ultimate Dragon. They've decided that it's okay for him to be Ultimo Dragon. Even though the announcers were in open revolt against it on several other pay-per-views that we've watched. It's Ultimo Dragon, and Sonny Ono apparently is out for revenge on the Dragon for rejecting him.
And Yuji Nagata is wearing a vest that looks like it was made of the floor mats from my car.
I loved Ultimo's outfit though, the little baby blue with the red. That was super cute. I love that. I don't know why.
That's classic Ultimo.
Yeah,
it is.
Everybody in this pay-per-view is the way they look in the video game. Like every single person, whatever they're wearing, whatever their finisher, this is the game. This is the video game moment.
My only other note for this match is that Ravens Flock entered with junky ass Billy Kidman era. Billy Kidman.
Yeah, with smacked out Billy Kidman. Yeah, like
just itching and scratching.
And scratching and shit. Yeah, no, like they went full train spotting with Billy Kidman in the beginning.
They did.
He understood the memo.
They did. Professor, do you have much to say about this, or Blade?
The only thing I really have in my notes is that there was a brief second where there was a little graphic and it told you who the announcer was. And I think it was Mike Tenay. I can't remember. And it's the only time they do it in the whole show. It just popped up for like 1 second and it's like speaking Mike Tenay. And I thought, well, this is really cool. They should do this more often. That's really neat. Like, fans can know who your guys are. And then they fucking never did it again.
Well, what I think is funny is they just bring, if you're not American, Tenay calls your match because he knows the names of the moves. But I will just say it was actually a good match. It was very solid.
It was a good little opener.
Nagata reveals the Nagata lock, years before it would actually become, like legendary. And he taps the Dragon out. Christy, this is your first time ever seeing this match. You loved it, right?
It was one of like 2 matches I liked. And I was a little sad it was only less than 10 minutes.
It was one of 2 matches I liked too.
Yeah.
So I was very sad it was only 10 minutes. And I found one of my only comments I caught on commentary was them talking the difference with never mind, that was Jericho's match. But yeah, I was very sad this was 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I
were like, you wanted
it
to be half the show.
Yeah, I was like, I'll watch this. Like, I kind of know who both these people are, so like, yay me.
So this is why people talk about WCW. I'm interested.
Yes, I was like, okay, like great. And
I mean,
that didn't last
it was
long.
a really solid match with some great work from both guys, and they're 2 great wrestlers, so like who are very well trained. So, it felt like a Monday Nitro opener.
Why don't you tell us who won?
I did.
Did you?
It was you. It was Yuji Nagata who tapped the Dragon out with the Nagata lock.
I'm sorry, I wasn't
before
listening.
They named it the Nagata lock because I was paying attention.
And then Sonny Ono gives him the money,
and he puts it in his mouth.
In his little envelope. Yeah.
Like he collected the bounty, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, we go from that match into a little promo from Disco Inferno.
Oh,
Talking about how he's got a match later with Jacqueline because he went from getting his ass kicked from women to getting his ass kicked in commentary sections.
And Jackie shows up. She jumps over the table, and Dusty Rhodes says, "Oh, that big old butt went flying over the table, didn't it, baby?" And that's pretty much
well,
it.
and the other thing that I thought was interesting about this is the first interview Disco Inferno's ever done out of character, because he says a woman's place is in the... And then she jumps at him. And I was like, wow, that was Glenn Gilberti right there. That wasn't even Disco Inferno. Like, it's a pretty good approximation of something he'd say on Twitter.
Oh my God, fuck Disco so much. Like I like disco music. I can get down on some Earth, Wind and Fire, some fucking Gloria Gaynor, but every time that man put something on the internet, I understood why people in the 70s used to wear shirts that said "Disco sucks."
Well, this is why you need to become a fan of Don Callis, is because Don Callis is always finding new ways to maim Disco Inferno on Twitter. And I think that's worthy work that he does.
Yeah,
it is. He's doing the Lord's work. The Lord's work.
Speaking of other people who have a long and storied history with Don Callis. Oh, did I cut you off, Chrissy?
I was just going to say he's doing the Lord's work of what? Killing my husband?
Oh, Kenny?
Yeah.
Look, we all know that I'm a big Kenny fan.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
He does.
He just wasn't that grateful to Don.
Lord of the hot dogs.
Yeah.
AKA me every 4th of July.
Because he looks like a hot dog.
You know who really looked like a hot dog?
Hulk Hogan? The end of this fucking pay-per-view? Jesus Christ.
Luger was extra shiny. Like he looked like a broiled hot dog dipped in Crisco. Like
he did.
He clogged every one of my arteries just looking at him.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
Did you want to bite him or something?
So next we have a special unadvertised bonus match is exactly what they said on the television.
They said it more than once.
They did. Yeah. They did. And this was Ghetto versus Chris Jericho. Baby!
So on the cock, they have Jericho come out to break the walls down, which I thought was an interesting development.
Yeah, because he didn't use that until WWF, right?
That was only in WWF did he ever use that music. And then it's Ghetto, who has bleach blonde short hair. Ghetto, current New Japan booker Ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
And they have...
Well, he was working in FMW a lot around this time.
He was. Right, yeah. No, him and Jotto, I mean, they shouted out Jotto, too.
Yeah.
They were a tag team. They kind of made the rounds. They were in FMW. They were in War. They were in, I think, they did the Super Junior stuff in New Japan. But it's a fine match. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. Goddamn, when Jericho went for that fucking Frankensteiner off the top rope and Ghetto just does a belly flop off the
and then they replay that. That was like their replay. The whole match basically felt like people like almost connecting and not quite connecting with moves.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that's a very good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't feel like it was like okay, but it didn't feel like anything special other than we got
young Chris
I don't know who I am, babyface Jericho, which is like, yeah, come on, baby.
Let's go in the ring.
Yeah, let's get in the ring. And then in the background, it's like, yeah, break the wall down. And it's just very jarring. It doesn't make any sense.
This was before he figured out that the 80s metalhead gimmick could be funny, and he just thought it was serious, but it's like, it's 97 and doesn't really work.
He just leaned into being Spinal Tap. Yeah.
This was the match where I wrote down what Dusty said. And this is phonetically. Know a lot about a dab of butter. Get a look at my hairstyle. Love a W tattoo.
Okay. Mine is actually from a different match.
Wow.
Also,
That's a lot.
throughout this match, I was distracted because there's an old dude with white hair in the crowd, but like the cul-de-sac, on the top of his head, but he's got a big white mustache.
Oh, yeah,
And
I know that guy.
He's got a sign that says WWF is weak, and he is so fucking into it, man. He is like mesmerized. And then right next to him is just some young dude with a sign that says Howard Stern rules.
So we got to flip it to our resident newcomer expert, Christy. Give us your
Newcomer
review.
expert.
It was super jarring to see Chris Jericho young.
Yeah.
I had no idea he was a flippy guy. That was shocking. Like
Young Chris
Jericho
Jericho.
can wrestle.
Okay. I give a lot of shit to that man and his political views and some of his TV time stuff, but like he was one of my like goats as a kid. Like
Yeah, me too.
he was
Same.
so good.
Just
I
cool
get it.
hell.
Like
This is before he became really great. Like the next year is when he becomes a heel and he becomes like a legend.
His tight
Yeah,
game was
I get
already
it.
on point though.
Yeah, that's when I started falling in love with Chris Jericho, was the heel.
He literally
The heel
filmed
turn.
bits in Washington D.C. with a sign that said "conspiracy victim." Like it was so good, and like his sense of humor was so unique for wrestling.
What's funny
like-
about that is 'cause then his wife did it.
How did I not even note the irony of that entire
I
thing?
thought that's
My
why
God.
you said it.
I saw someone post something on Threads the other day that someone who's going back and like rewatching all the old AEWs, and they were like, "Man, it's real jarring seeing Chris Jericho on commentary on the January 7th episode of Dynamite, the day after his wife stormed the fucking Capitol."
My wife was just here hanging out with me all day yesterday. Didn't go anywhere.
Jesus Christ.
He's like her alibi.
Yeah,
Just
totally.
like, yeah, my wife
Right,
and I were
Tony?
in town yesterday and today, just having a great time.
I have to say this every time there's an old Jericho match or something on one of these pay-per-views, but his fucking tight game was always. So good. He always
I
had
agree.
the coolest goddamn tight.
Yeah.
That's why I
agree.
hate when he wears the little trunks when he's a heel now.
I don't
you know?
like the trunks. I've never liked the
No.
trunks. I
No.
never liked
No,
it.
they're more to serve a purpose than to look cool, though. I
Okay,
mean,
we're not
yeah.
even talking
He
about
only
the
wears
match
trunks
anymore.
if
Shut up. You know what?
What?
Degree, shut up.
What?
We're moving on.
Fuck.
So Rey Mysterio Jr. and Eddie Guerrero are about to wrestle. And you might have heard of this match a million times because it's been mentioned a million times by a
One of the
million
best
people.
matches ever.
Because it's a really, really great match. Really great match. It's
I was
mask,
excited.
mask versus title. And Brett, why don't you, or you know what, Degree, why don't you take it away?
I mean, I think it's a great match if you like.
Well, I was
really-
going to lay some backstory a little bit.
Oh, I was going to lay some forward story a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Well-
let's do back then forward. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know? What are we dancing? Is this the time warp?
Maybe.
It
Let's
was
hear it.
Meatloaf's birthday the other day.
Just, no.
So leading up to this match, Eddie and Rey had been having a little series, right? And Eddie had been trying to fucking get the mask off of Eddie in all of these matches. And I love that during this match, Rey's way of countering that was to have his mask was part of his bodysuit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
That's
Phantom
it.
costume. Which was cool because I liked that movie, The Phantom, and I don't think anybody else liked it. I
Because
gonna
this
say
was a
that-
mask match. If Rey loses this match, he's losing his
He's
mask.
done.
Right.
And it's revealed that he's just a small boy. Because if you like movies or matches where small, tiny, young boys unrealistically take on people much larger than them, you might like this Rey Mysterio match.
Oh,
That
boy.
was my joke. Thank you.
Did you shoehorn Riho into
You're goddamn right. I
Mysterio?
shoehorned Riho into this.
Yeah, I'm going to mute you now.
Yeah,
Gail
that was the Riho of his day.
The
I
Regina
will say
George
my-
of wrestling.
My first thought in this match was, I wonder if Gail Kim found this match believable.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been sitting on that Mysterio joke for like 3 days now. I'm really excited. And yes, I thought of you when I watched it.
And I thought it was just as unfunny the second time.
Well, maybe that's what you told it to me.
Speaking of really bad takes, we did get one of the commentators say that careers have indeed flourished after losing the mask. Conan comes to mind.
Oh,
Tanay talking about Conan. But Tanay was great on commentary here because, you got to figure this crowd is still, I guess Rey showed up in 96, 96, I think. So they were pretty familiar with him by this point. The execution of nearly everything is almost perfect.
Jesus, the Rey was fucking cooking, man. Like that springboard DDT thing he hit, but then he had the sequence that got me like off my feet, like in my bedroom watching this was he hits that Hurricane Rana over the top rope, and then he front flips out of the ring and hits another fucking Hurricane Rana.
Right.
Like, Jesus, Rey used to be insane.
Well, and so this is also my favorite version of Eddie as a wrestler, okay? Because I think Eddie at this moment might have been the greatest wrestler in the world. Like, keeping in mind that Kobashi and Misawa and Kawada and, Muda, all these other people are happening at the same time. Liger's in his prime. I think Eddie might have been the best because he's the base for Rey in this match, and he's just everywhere he needs to be at the exact time he needs to be there. Everything moves so fast.
He was a heat magnet this whole match, man.
Yeah, dude.
This was my favorite heel era of Eddie as well. Like, the whole lie, cheat, steal thing just felt a little kind of
racist as fuck.
You mean the feud that was going on when he got GED?
He was just mean. He was nasty. I mean, he was always the cheater he was as a wrestler, but like,
it's my favorite Eddie hair.
Yeah,
I like the undercut mullet thing he's got going on that Dom still does to this day.
Just oozing charisma, sweating out of his mullet,
Yes, and then, but also this is before Eddie gets super jacked on steroids. And
right, yeah.
When you see Eddie in WWF, he looks like it doesn't look right. Like, that's too much. And then Rey, same thing,
Yeah.
Rey's super big.
That's one thing that like always kind of takes me out. Like when I see modern matches with Rey, I'm like, I don't think Rey's supposed to be that big.
No, he's not made for that.
I mean, I'm not. Well, we don't body shame on here. I mean,
no.
Blade is one of the hosts.
Oh,
whoa!
But this match was a match that was. I was just trying to segue out of that, Blade. This was one of those ones where
my pocket pal.
It put that shit on the map. This is when I started paying attention to Lucha Libre. This is when having Mike Tenay.
Yeah.
You guys were mentioning Mike Tenay, like that was a big thing, like because he was the guy that held your hand through all of it, and that was really cool. Yeah, this match still absolutely holds up as well as it did in 1997. What about our resident new expert? Sorry, I stole that from you too.
My notes consist of, holy hell, this is where Dom got his look from.
Yep. It's true.
This was the match I was probably most excited for because I've heard about this match. And it's probably my favorite match of the night.
Easily.
I would hope so.
Rey has always been incredible.
I would hope
in
so.
ring. And wow. And this is my first time actually watching an Eddie Guerrero match. And holy friggin' hell. I was I get why people like have him on like this pedestal because it was so good. However, some of my other notes were wow, some of these male fans in the audience give you cover your drink vibes. Because I don't know, some of them look really creepy in this match.
There was like three guys in the front row that I'm like, these boys just came out of a fucking frat house.
Is it the guy whose shirt's buttoned all the way to the top?
Yeah, they all seem fucking
they were just
hammered.
Right in the front. And I was creeped out. I was so creeped out.
We're gonna have to have you back for an ECW like recap.
I definitely. My other note was, why do the titles seem so small and flimsy?
It seems
I
so
had
what?
never noticed that in WCW. That's a good thing though. Yeah.
That they seem small and what?
Flimsy.
Flimsy.
Oh.
Like
yeah.
I'm used to
Well,
these
30
like,
years ago,
like,
that's how we built belts.
Yeah. Well, and compared to like the AEW World title, every belt looks kind of flimsy.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
a giant title. That was specifically made to be gigantic. So like, but no, fair point. Fair point.
I do want to say I loved every time I've seen it, I'm always blown away by how real that ending feels. Like a lot of times when you have like a stolen ending in a wrestling match, like, you know, it's pretty planned out and like, you know, you can feel that like that's what they're going after. But like, man, when Rey just steals that fucking pin, like, holy shit, and the place erupts, like, that's why I watch wrestling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I believe that the original plan was for Rey to lose. And he was going to lose his mask. And he was so against it, and he begged and he pleaded not to lose his mask. And they changed the plan like the last day. Like that day, they decided that Rey would win. And then it was like a year and a half.
Anyway.
It was a year and a half later, Jericho took his mask and Rey went maskless for like a year, you know.
I like to forget that era of Rey Mysterio.
That was really only a year from this point?
Yeah.
Wow, it
It's
feels
not
like
far.
it was way later. No. Wow.
No,
Well,
it's
think
not
about
far.
it. When did WCW go out of business? Like we're
2001.
already getting, we're
Wow,
getting towards
yeah.
the last hoorah of the WCW.
Well, we're getting towards Starrcade 97 right now, and this is like
Yeah.
the wheels are just starting to fall off.
Oh yeah. You can feel it throughout this night. Like there was some shit where it started getting like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
And one of those things is about to happen right now, which is we have, for some reason, a match with Steve Mongo McMichael and Alex Wright.
Yeah.
Well, before that, we had the Mean Gene promoting the
God.
WCW hotline.
and then
and
that
then we
fucking
had-
promo.
We had that promo with Hogan and Bischoff that was
And it just goes forever.
and so long. And I love that the music doesn't even start until they're already talking for like a minute.
There was a point, like the second half of the pay-per-view, it felt like the NWO music never stopped playing.
No,
It
that
just
was
always
one of my
wrote that
things.
down.
I was going to ask y'all that. Like, so that's what one of my biggest gripes about the NWO era of WCW is that everyone in NWO used fucking the same song because it was just, you would hear it just back to back to back to back all fucking night. And I get so sick of it. Like,
Well, and certain
every
people
every
have
show.
different versions of it where it's like
Well, Randy
like
Savage goes,
has
"Ooh,
like
yeah."
ooh yeah in his,
Yeah.
and then like there's one where like Kevin Nash is laughing like a maniac, but it's really corny, and that's what him and Scott Hall come out to. And then Hogan has some kind of custom mix of some type.
Well, doesn't Hogan come out to Voodoo Chow? Or does he not at this point?
Not
No.
yet, not yet.
Wow. Well, that was a good decision
I
at this
did-
point.
I did write a note on this, and it said Ugg, Hulk Hogan, and bitch off.
Yeah. Well, and so this was one thing I did have like a more extensive comment on is they say that basically they're not going to show up at all, that the main event of the show is not going to happen if Sting is allowed in the building. Like, he can't be allowed in the building at all. This is going to start what I feel is possibly one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen on a pay-per-view. And that's saying a lot.
Through.
No follow through. In a variety of different ways. But as we've watched these WCW shows, these pay-per-views, it's a trend where the show starts and then they start changing things that they've already announced that they've sold the show with. They start like, or they at least fuck with you that they might change things. And like, if you paid, I think at the time this show would have cost $30. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Give me the show I paid for. You know what I mean? Like, I paid good money for this.
Which, you know what? To everyone complaining about AEW, like pay-per-view prices, like now if you have HBO Max, it's $40. Like, it's pretty much what you would have paid in the 90s for a pay-per-view. Like, give me a fucking break.
I'm sorry, this was $30.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I would have asked for a refund.
Look, lady, the 90s were a different time,
This
okay?
isn't even the worst pay-per-view that we've covered on this show.
Not even close.
This makes, this is so much better than Bad Blood.
But
Oh,
I think
God.
the takeaway though is that what we expected from pay-per-view in the 90s, the AEW raised the stakes so high
Yeah.
when they started doing pay-per-views, and what you expect for that money is so different that these pay-per-views look like shit compared to that. I mean, even the really good ones can't possibly compare.
This is like an episode of Rampage. Maybe.
Right.
At best. Well, it's not their A show, but it's good.
Yeah.
I can't believe you all paid for this.
We paid to watch Eric Bischoff clench his jaw as tightly as he possibly could for like
There was
5
too
straight
much
minutes.
Bischoff on my screen today.
Yes.
Watching this. I never want to see Bischoff again.
We all wore fuzzy versions of the Cat in the Hat. Okay, it was a weird time. You remember when that was like a trend, like fucking different patterns on like the Cat in the Hat style hat?
Yes. So let's discuss this Alex Wright versus Steve McMichael business. Mongo versus Alex Wright, for some reason, is on a pay-per-view on a show you paid for.
And he was a surprise, right? It wasn't like they were trying to sell it. Like he was.
Well, because Jarrett had just left for the Fed. And so it was going to be Jarrett versus Mongo.
Which is what they were building to forever.
Yeah, but
right.
then Jarrett skipped town and went to the Fed. And so it became like, oh, who's Deborah going to pick? And it was fucking Alex Wright and his penis. And you could see his whole ass hog when he came out. Like
Every
his
time he was on screen, you could.
outline of his penis was just.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that's the
Anyway.
old Arn Anderson style, you know?
Doing that one dance move that he does.
What did you call it? The little acorn? This was
The
not
acorn,
an acorn.
Arn's acorn, yeah.
This was a fucking salami.
Yeah. Arn, there's a reason they call him Double A, and it's not the reason you think.
I was joking with the lunch lady. It was a bratwurst.
Oh,
That's
jeez.
awesome.
That was from
But-
10 Things I Hate About You. Good movie.
Yes. Which was
There's
filmed
no
where I
reaction to
live.
that guy either, by the way. Like, no one fucking cares when Alex.
No one
Oh,
cared.
No one gave a shit.
This was
That's what I
also
was
the
trying to say
shortest.
before you brought up his hog.
This was also the shortest match of the show, and it felt really long.
It did.
I did love the promo beforehand when it turned into divorce court, basically, where Deborah's like, I've been putting up with you and your crazy ass family.
I'm going to
Yep.
take my
I
rings.
have-
I'm going to take my debit cards.
I have one question. Queen of WCW, what the fuck was that nonsense?
Well,
Yeah.
it would get so much worse. Do you know that Deborah is Steve Austin's future ex-wife?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was married to Stone Cold later, which he probably wouldn't like us talking about. But anyway, the match. Go ahead, Degree. Go
There's a
ahead.
point in this match where Dusty Rhodes says, the NWO will because they can, and then they know they can, and if you think they won't, then they will. And those were actually words that time.
Dusty had a lot of moments this whole show where he just would say the same thing in a different way. Like
15
but
times
he
in a row.
wouldn't like stop talking. It was like, he's gonna have a great match, and this match is great because it's gonna be great. He's doing great with a great match.
Totally.
Yeah. Yep. And I think Bobby's a little slosh too. Like, I just think it feels like chaos on commentary.
I was so mad that no one was wearing a Halloween costume. Like, I was really, like, I imagine just, like, it cuts to the commentary booth and Shivani's wearing, like, a hot dog suit, you know?
Yeah.
But
That
this
would have
was
been
a
better.
serious time in wrestling when everyone wore all black all the time.
Yeah, everyone was
Like,
cool.
There's no
So anyway, Steve
fun.
McMichael is beating the shit out of Alex Wright, who
Yeah, he
basically does
was.
nothing offensive in the entire match. And Tombstone pile drives him, which is McMichael's finisher. Deborah's distracting the ref. A young whippersnapper named Bill Goldberg shows up.
Bill Goldberg. We need a
Blake's
button to
favorite.
press to whenever whenever Goldberg's mentioned on
My
the
hero,
show,
Bill Goldberg.
It's just Bret Hart going, Bill Goldberg.
Yep. And Bill Goldberg shows up, and Mongo takes forever to turn around. And then he turns
Charles
around.
Robinson looked back at Goldberg at least 3 times and had to pretend he didn't see him.
Goldberg hits a spear on Mongo that looks weak as fuck because they're too close to the ref. Like McMichael's just way too close.
He hit a cuddle spear in my notes.
Yeah, it was a cuddle spear for sure.
It was like a takedown. It wasn't even like that was not a good finisher. Whatever.
Then he hits the jackhammer. And Deborah gets off the apron while he's setting up for the jackhammer. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Then Charles Robinson looks behind him, sees that he hasn't even hit the jackhammer yet. And then he turns around and starts yelling at her again.
At least 3 times. At least 3 times.
And then he hits so I forgot this was Bill Goldberg's first like real feud was with Steve Mongo McMichael.
Mm-hmm.
He jackhammers McMichael and just puts Alex Wright on top of him.
Yeah.
And then Charles Robinson,
like a little child
who didn't see or hear anything, counts the 3.
Let's ref them.
And then it made Alex Wright look terrible.
Yep.
Because he couldn't muster even one offensive maneuver.
Well, I mean, I don't think he needed any help from Mongo and Goldberg on that one. Yeah.
I mean, that's true. That's true. He had that awesome dance move.
What was his gimmick?
He could dance.
The dance move.
He was kind of like Daniel Garcia. He was actually a decent wrestler, but then he just did this weird dance that didn't make any sense. He was nothing like Daniel Garcia.
He brings a lot more to the table than Alex.
He does. I like Daniel Garcia.
And,
a lot,
I like Danny.
Right
If you don't like Danny Garcia, fuck you.
Oh, I agree completely. I just was noticing that he did this one dance move that was completely out of place with everything else, and he could never escape it because that's the gimmick he came in with.
Books, I noticed your eyes moving around really funny after that was said. Do you want to tell us something? Anything you want to share?
Say, Daniel Garcia, for the first time I like him because he's in the Death Riders and he's doing something interesting, but a dance move.
You didn't used to like Daniel Garcia?
He was right up there with Ricky Starks and just people.
Wow.
Gimmick changes.
Wow.
I like them as wrestlers, but they needed gimmick changes because neither one of them can pull off this "I'm so cool" thing. Like,
yeah. Sticky taints, definitely.
I think what I always loved about Danny was like, I don't know, I just like he's trying so hard, you know what I mean? And like Daddy Magic with him, like Daddy really sold me on Danny.
Yeah,
and that's why when he finally makes Daddy bleed blood, I'm gonna be so sad.
Well, let's get to our rookie expert, who, and by that I mean like you're an expert at being a rookie. And so,
yes.
What'd you think of this incredible?
All I wrote was, "This was sloppy and boring."
I think that's very fair.
Yeah,
that's very fair.
Like, I have no other things to say about this.
I think the less said, the better, honestly. And then we move from that masterpiece to another real Hellraiser of a match.
Well, we get a promo from Macho and Miss Elizabeth beforehand, and I love at the end they're like starting to walk away, and Macho just in like full Elizabeth simp mode is like, "Party time, Las Vegas! It's a gamble, yeah." But hey, Elizabeth, we like gambling. Do we like it? Yeah, we do. Okay, all right. He's just like following Elizabeth out. It cracks me up.
We don't live together anymore, brother. Yeah.
She got all my crowns in the divorce.
Yeah, she got all my crowds. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm the man again.
So I guess, Books, this would be a great time to get your impression of Randy Savage's incredible voice.
Well, I wrote, "Wow, he's so cheesy." And
I love the Macho Man.
Holy hell, his vocal fry is annoying.
Wow.
How dare you say that to the Macho Man?
To the Macho Man. Yeah.
I know we're all just like fucking
Gene, let me tell you.
White-knuckling it over here. How dare you speak ill of the Macho Man?
Hold on, somebody pass me a mirror. Yeah.
I get his popularity. I do. But I wasn't expecting that vocal fry.
It was a
And,
different time, books. A different time.
Yeah.
It was, I'm going to make another note that I wrote down, because especially as we're going into the next character we're going to discuss, I never want to hear anyone complain about cheesy wrestling again, when every single gimmick and character and wrestler in this time, everything I wrote was, holy cheese. What is this cheesiness like? I never want to hear anyone complain about Orange Cassidy being cheesy again.
I gotta
That's
be
all I'm
honest,
gonna
like,
say.
I am one of those people who thinks the wrestling needs a cheese factor. You know what I mean? And I think that's that's what I like about it. When people ask me, especially people in the queer community who don't really know, and they're like, how could you watch wrestling? Isn't it like some sporty buff fighting UFC shit? I'm like, no, it's fucking camp. Like, the best pro wrestling is just camp. It's so good.
100%.
And speaking of camp,
well, I wanted to give Professor Degree a very special moment in this show. I know this is his favorite match on the card. And so he was telling me before we got on that Mysterio and Guerrero was dog shit compared to this.
Because it's unbelievable.
And,
so unrealistic.
yeah. And this was actually quite a bit better. So
did you can I introduce this match?
Why don't you go ahead? Because I know it means a lot to you.
In 1997, there was nothing that was less relevant than a disco gimmick. It absolutely had no place anywhere. No one thought it was funny, and a lot of people maybe didn't even know what disco was anymore because it had been so fucking long.
That crowd was dancing though.
Yeah, and some of them were throwing up I don't know if those were dance moves or they were the Roman salute or whatever they want to call it.
Such a fine line between disco and Zeke Heil,
Yeah, and I will say this: Jackie can throw a hell of a fucking punch.
Yeah, she can. Jackie fucking ruled, man.
This whole match was just stalling.
Yes.
Just stalling terribly. And then stalling more. And then Jackie would get pissed and she'd finally catch up with him. And then nothing would happen. And they would stall. And he would go back outside and then she would chase him or whatever. I don't even remember the finish. It's like you didn't even get the payoff of watching her kick the shit out of him because all I remember was stalling from the whole match.
Well,
I never really realized until I was watching this the other day, but Disco Inferno kind of looks like a buff David Berkowitz. That's the son of Sam for all of you out there.
Right.
If you don't know.
Yeah.
He looks like David Berkowitz. And you know what? This also gave me a chance to finally take my peek at the crowd that I like to do. And a couple weeks ago when we were in Minneapolis or whatever, we had Dahmer in attendance.
Right. That was in Milwaukee.
There was a dude front and center, just straight ahead, that I swear to God it was Dennis Rader.
You really cannot pass up the comparison to serial killers.
No, I don't know who that is.
Really a big part of our show now.
Well, it's the 90s. Everybody looked like a serial killer.
That's true. I looked like a serial killer back then. I still do, kind of, but...
Did you wear the little aviator glasses with a mustache?
No, didn't wear the aviator glasses. So anyway,
thanks for forcing me to walk through that match. That was really great.
There was a few things you missed. I was surprised. Jackie punched so hard, in fact, that one of her titties popped out.
Yeah.
Almost.
She was constantly.
And the announcers were like, ooh, they were all over it. And the crowd was all over it for a second. And then she was being proactive about her titty not popping out later. Because Jackie did have her titties pop out in other matches at other times.
I think this is Blades just said the word titty more times in the last paragraph than he has.
I just feel it's notable.
Well, except for that when we were talking about Abdul the Butcher a couple episodes ago.
Yeah,
titties
big
a couple
old titties.
times then.
Well, because he's got the 360 titties.
Right.
He's got titties in the back and titties in the front.
He's got the back titties.
Yeah, he's got the back tits. So, anyway, basically Disco Inferno just stalls for... This match is just under 10 minutes long. It's longer than Alex Wright and Steve McMichael somehow. It felt longer than even you could imagine that being. And then Jackie basically just wins with a simple roll-up when Disco can't run away from her quickly enough.
Yeah, it's like he's such a dick, he won't even give her the opportunity to beat the shit out of him. It was so disappointing.
It really was.
It's because he knew later on in life about the beatdowns he would be getting on social media in his comments for
Even
the rest
Cody
of
Rhodes
his career.
embarrassed them.
Oh my God.
If you get dunked on by Cody Rhodes, like,
Yeah.
dude, you are really doing it wrong. Books, please.
Okay.
Regale
I have
us.
thoughts here.
I guess Disco just doesn't have that adrenaline in his soul, you know?
I wrote, wow, Disco Inferno is even more cheesier than I ever could have imagined.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
My God.
An intergender match. I'm excited. Wow, Jackie sure looks improper.
Jackie had some big hair in this match. I loved it.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I am a fan of, like, the higher the hair, the closer to Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, I love just big head of hair.
That and she already had the WWE makeover going on.
She did.
Was another
She
comment.
did.
and then I wrote, Jackie needs to kick his ass. Oh my God, this is so boring. Why are we stalling? Oh my God, I'm so bored. Oh look, the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment.
People
Gorilla.
paid $30 for that.
What? For this.
Yeah.
Like you paid to be there for this. And I'm like, I was, it was at this point, I was like, I probably would have turned it off if I was.
Well, Disco got fired because he wouldn't do a job to her. In real life, he literally got fired because he said he didn't want to lose to her. And so he finally, Bischoff refused to bring him back, even though everyone in the locker room was like, you should bring him back. Like, this isn't cool. And until he agreed to lose, Bischoff would not bring him back. But then, you know, it's like he won't hit her. He won't, like, really do anything. He won't wrestle her. So it didn't help her at all to, like, win this way.
I didn't know any of that. And I was just joking about him not, like, refusing to fight her. That's actually the truth. Jesus Christ.
Right.
It's even
I
more
also
disappointing.
wrote down, this makes me appreciate AEW 10 times more for allowing real intergender matches and allowing for, like, women and men to not just stall
Scuffle.
around the ring.
Well, there's going to be an
Yeah.
intergender match tonight on Dynamite number 6 because this show's out on Wednesday.
Yes, and Chris is going to destroy Yuta.
yes.
So.
Yes. Moving right along, we get to, well, it's Kurt Hennig versus Ric Flair. And, you know, we
The
talk
beer
about
drinking, pants pissing, waitress accosting, nature boy, Ric Flair. Woo!
Woo! That's right. So I have to level a critique of somebody that is held in very high regard and is also dead. Kurt Hennig, I don't think he ever took wrestling very seriously because they're supposed to be in a blood feud in this match. It does not feel like that. Okay. Like Flair is trying to get it to that level and Hennig's just like, he's just being like kind of a cartoony heel. You know what I mean?
Well, that was that was how he always kind of was, you know, Mr. Perfect. Like he was kind of the cartoony WWF style gimmick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I loved Kurt Hennig as a kid, but watching him as an adult, like his selling is so over the top. It's like,
yeah, he didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
it's like Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan overselling.
Yeah. But in every
match, though. Yeah.
This
Go ahead,
this
Jeffrey.
match actually was one of the big reasons we bought this pay-per-view back then, because it was when Hennig turned on the Four Horsemen, and it was that video package, and Flair says, Hennig, I'm gonna hurt you for real for a long, long time. And I have probably said that while playing the WCW video game at least 8,000 times in my life. Like that fucking video package, and we loved the Four Horsemen, and we were so pissed at Kurt Hennig, and then this match was just like Humpty Dumpty, ho hum, hee haw bullshit, like not really that impressive. It was.
I didn't think it was a
whatever.
terrible match. Like
No,
it
but
was
it was like a Saturday morning.
yeah.
Understanding the
TV
story,
match.
this match doesn't make sense, though. It's just like, why would you, Flair's just doing he's punching, he's chopping, and Flair's, he's not in his prime anymore at this point, So, like, Hennig's got to carry some of this. And he
This
just
is
kind
what
of,
I was trying to say about the fucking Coping Cage against FTR match. Like, it didn't feel at all out. Like, it didn't feel like what it was built up
Like
to
the
be.
build up was so huge. Even going back and rewatching this, it was even more. It just seems like they have a checklist of wrestling moves, and they're just like, well, now we're going to do this. Now we're going to do this. I mean,
Now I'm going to do the Flair bump over the ropes.
Yeah, it's
well,
like
all the heat is really just that he stole Flair's robe and like cut the sleeves off, and he had
Which
just
was
slammed
hilarious
a cage
because then
door
when Flair
on
put
Flair's
the robe
head.
on, when Flair put the robe on with no sleeves, it made it look so small.
Yeah. Well, that part was actually kind of amusing because Flair's like, fuck it, I'll rock it. But but I thought like it was a month before this where Hennig had been given Arn Anderson's spot in the Four Horsemen.
not just any spot, my spot.
Right. And Hennig had slammed Flair's head in the cage and joined the NWO. Like, should have been an epic betrayal, This did not feel epic at all. And the crowd, they lose the crowd at a certain point. And I really do. I put the blame on Hennig on this one. He didn't live up to the moment.
It's lackadaisical.
What did you think there, Books, for your first time?
I said, wow, Ric Flair has always looked old. This is over a rope.
He was 48 years old in that match. I looked it up.
I also wrote, wow, this is over a rope. Very compelling. And then I wrote, wow, did this fizzle? Because
yes,
kind of started off good, and then it just went like kaput. And I was like, yep. And they
I mean, it could have been worse.
I think I got up and did something else. I was so bored.
It could have been worse. They could have been feuding over a friendship bracelet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what's worse. They're both
and then like all great, kind of main event caliber matches on pay-per-view, it ends in a disqualification. So
Yeah.
very fun. Very
like
fun.
out of nowhere too. Like they're like Flair's treating this match like he really wants that win, and then he's just like, fuck it. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna smash your head with a chair.
Yeah, it's like he just gives up after a while.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Also, the Slim Jim ring post really annoyed
fucking
me.
knocks out the ref.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And then speaking of bad, Scott Hall versus Lex Luger, everybody.
Yeah. Well, before that, we had another little Macho Man promo because he's promoting the internet because it's the 90s. Yeah.
Oh, and fucking
and then we
primetime
get-
Mark Madden in the back there.
Yeah, and then we get Mean Gene and JJ Dillon to announce that, in fact, Hogan versus Roddy Piper will take place because JJ Dillon signed the thing that said Sting will not be there, and Bischoff was pissed.
This is Bischoff's stroke era where every other line is, you don't have the stroke, I have the stroke.
Oh my God.
You know who has the stroke? There's a stroke. You don't have the stroke. It's
that was this
terrible.
promo that Bischoff got.
Man, stroke man.
Also,
I'm just gonna say, I didn't think I could find Bischoff any more annoying until that promo, and I was like, I think I'm very fair in my calling him Bischoff and not liking him, and this is only because of what I see on social media. Now I actually hate the character of Bischoff too. So,
Oh well, that
he
he
was
was a great at being that smarmy, slimy little dick.
Did you like him
this
back
is
then?
some of his worst work, I would say. Like,
Yeah, I
this
didn't-
whole thing just felt like he's playing pretend. It didn't feel like he was really invested in it. I do have to say one thing. They never actually said that the thing Dylan presented, they never even said what it was. That they never said that Sting wasn't
it
allowed.
was notarized.
He just said it was notarized. And
Well-
Bischoff looks at it and he goes, "You can't do this. You can't do." And it's like, what's he doing? Did he sign the thing?
notarized, Blade.
I think it was. I mean, he said unless we have a signed contract that says Sting can't be involved. So I think it was
implied.
implied.
Through the notarization.
But it like very badly implied. And then it gets
Context clues played.
Then it gets to the announcers,
clues.
and they don't actually say it with any specificity that Sting can't be there.
But it was notarized.
Terrible. The whole thing was awful. It's one of the fucking absolute low points of the show. I think I tried to erase it from my mind.
Yeah. Because how do you get a notarized note from a man who lives in the attic and dresses like a monster? You know what I mean? Like what? It does. It just no. It was dumb.
It was really stupid. And so then we get a really good match between Scott Hall and Lex Luger.
Oh my God. And this was actually, so Scott Hall comes out with Six, and the following night on Nitro was Six's last appearance before jumping to the Fed to become X-Pac. Yeah.
Well, you did your homework.
I think he was injured at the time. Well, this was when I first started getting into wrestling, right? But he was injured, and so that's why he wasn't wrestling or anything that night and whatnot. Because you remember when he comes in to join DX, he doesn't wrestle for a little bit because he's still injured.
He had a broken neck. Yeah.
Wow.
He had a broken neck. But yeah, I forgot. So yeah, he doesn't show up again till like April because that's the night after WrestleMania.
But Larry Zbyszko is the ref in this match, and I think my favorite part of this match was the feud between Six and Larry Zbyszko the entire match. There's a spot in this match where Scott Hall goes for a pin, and Luger kicks out at 2, and Six is just screaming, that was three, and Zbyszko just looks at him, he goes, his shoulder was this high off the mat, you little jerk.
I would also say, so I would say like Scott Hall is an interesting wrestler, right? Because he's kind of a hybrid where he's in that big man class of wrestler, but he doesn't wrestle that way necessarily.
Well, because he's not like fucking jacked to the gills. You know what I mean?
He's lean,
but he's
lean.
Yeah. But he's very tall and he's wide. And so like up. I think Scott Hall has the greatest working punch of all time. Like honestly, he has a great working punch. And so I always like watching Scott Hall matches, and him and Luger just
he is a great seller too.
He was. But this was a very WWE style match. It's just a lot of like, pulling the arms behind the back, test of strength crap, A
lot of headlocks.
I have a question. So low blows are usually illegal in a wrestling match, right?
Yeah.
How is an atomic drop a legal move?
Great question, Brett. I've never known the answer to it myself. The implication is that it's impacting your spine.
You
got a little nuts if that ain't hitting your fucking beanbag.
I know.
But they're not. You're aiming for the taint.
Did you know
that's why it compresses the spine in such a way?
The clam crusher.
Did you know that
the gooch grenade?
One of Bob Backlund's finishers when he was the world champion was an atomic drop.
That's my least favorite wrestling move of all time. Is the atomic?
I hate that move.
I am not a big fan of the atomic drop. It was very, very, very 80s and 90s wrestling.
I love watching Rick Rude sell an atomic drop.
Yeah,
and that's about it. That's about it.
I like Rick Rude doing a lot of things.
This entire match is about getting Larry Zbyszko over for some reason,
which I loved. That's my favorite part of the match.
Deep knee bends from Larry, like he's just getting in there, squatting, like fucking his pants are so tight on his bulbous ass.
No problem.
Yeah, he's like the super referee in this match. He's so animated.
He's supposed to be so on it and really about the rules. And Bischoff comes out at a certain point, and while Bischoff is being removed or whatever, Sean Waltman, Six, comes in, doesn't hit a kick to the back of the head of Lex Luger. It completely misses. Luger sells it like he's dead. Then Hall hits the Razor's Edge or the Outsider Edge, which, by the way, give it a better name than the Outsider Edge. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And pins Luger. And Larry shows his bias in the count. He goes 1, 2, God damn it, 3. And, up until that moment, Larry's like, yeah, he counts slow. He counts like a AAA ref, like he can barely get down to his knees. But he hadn't been outwardly biased necessarily. And he shows the bias. And then the best part of this is Bischoff runs back out. Waltman's celebrating. They're all walking to the back. And then for no reason at all, Lex is just laying on the mat. Larry goes, I want to see the replay.
Which, okay, yeah. I hated this because if you're going to do if a ref could call for a replay, why haven't they ever done it? And why don't they do it all the time?
Or do something that would give him a reason to call for it.
Right.
It seemed
Lex is just knocked out on the mat.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Wrestlers.
But then he gets up immediately when Zbyszko calls the match back on, and then just fucking hits the torture rack, and Zbyszko's like, it's over!
Well, and what I thought was also funny was Hall starts walking away like he doesn't give a shit, and then Larry goes, 1, 2, 3, and Bischoff's like, get back in the ring! What? None of this made any sense at all.
It was real fucking it was real fucking chaos.
And then Luger just immediately puts Hall in the torture rack. Hall's doing the hand thing to submit.
Yeah.
But then the match is called a no contest, which is what? And then Larry is the only person anybody cares about by the end of this match.
Oh my
and it's
God.
he's an announcer. What the fuck are you doing?
He looked like my high school special teams coach when I played football.
So we kick it to our rookie specialist, Books.
All I wrote was, is this supposed to be a comedy?
Yeah, it was. It was basically like a fucking comedy match by the end of it. Jesus Christ.
It would have been better if it was
I was a little
intended.
excited.
It was very Attitude Era ending.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, my only real thing of Scott Hall is watching Monday Night Wars and seeing him show up from I keep saying Monroe. Razor
Monroe.
It sounds better. I'm sorry. You know what? That's what Blake's name should have been. To
Razor
Scott
Monroe.
Hall, and that's my only
That's what Gilbert's gimmick was gonna be.
I'm actually writing that name down right now.
Razor Monroe.
I don't know why I keep saying that. I know it. I just think it sounds funny.
That's actually a good wrestling name, Razor Monroe.
Welcome. And I was excited to see Lex Luger because, again, I only know him from not being able to walk.
I gotta say, you're one of the few people I know that's ever excited to see Lex Luger.
Hey, look, I'm a Lex fan, but I'm like a Lex 1989 fan. Okay,
Yeah.
I was getting very excited for the names I knew. So, because a lot of times I didn't know half of these names. So I was like, I know both of these names. I understand that Razor came over. Now he's Scott Hall and he's in the NWO. And at this point, I'm like, oh my God, the NWO has taken over the entire second half of this pay-per-view. I never want to hear anyone complain about the Death Riders ever again.
Oh my God.
Absolutely true.
Mm-hmm. Was another one of my
This is
notes.
why people were afraid of that, because we remember what it was like 30 fucking years ago when you couldn't get rid of them.
But there's some really important differences. Is one
was better.
There isn't 40 members of the Death Riders,
Right?
Exactly.
Many of whom just feel completely unimportant, and why are they a part of the end? Who even cares? That they're there. But the other thing is the other thing that we forgot to mention is when Bischoff is throwing a fit at JJ Dillon, he goes, "Well, we want Nitro," and that was because they did the next night they did an NWO Monday Nitro. But why do they get Nitro? What?
I wrote that down. Why do they want White Nitro? Why are they getting Nitro? I thought the NWO was Nitro. I was so confused.
And they did it once, and it was terrible, and they never did it again.
You hit on something earlier, Blade. As far as the differences between the two, and you can sell any story you want if you build a world. Whether it's Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, whatever. If you build a world and that world is consistent, you can tell whatever the fuck story you want. You can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? You can have talking teddy bears, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be consistent and have a logic within that world. And the NWO has zero logic. Like, there's nothing ever makes sense. Like, through this whole pay-per-view and eventually through their demise, just like WCW and the NWO just did not have any internal logic that drove it. And so
when I honestly, like, if they would have just kept the NWO to the original 3, I think it would have been great for years. You know what I mean? Because I think that's what's working with the Death Riders, like Blade was saying, is there's not like 40 fucking members. Like they've added one more person
and it meant something.
Since last year. And it means something with Danny, you know? He's like the new fucking young guy. But like it's not match after match after match after match is just everyone coming out to fucking bow down, you know what I mean? Right. And it makes sense in the story, and it keeps it from just the oversaturation of like why are we doing this? Like, you know what I mean? Like if they had half the AEW roster join up with the Death Riders, and then like entire shows are just like Collision, Death Rider, like
it turns into a terrible Cobra, you know.
And you know, when Sting, it made it for when Sting finally fucking joined. It was like, well, who cares? Everybody's already fucking joined the NWO.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, all the people who fought the NWO ended up joining it. I mean, that was the other thing that made no sense. Why would Sting join any version of the NWO? Yeah,
but it would have hit so much harder if it had been him fighting those original 3, and then like a year or so later, like he has that change of heart and joins them. Like it would have been so much more impactful.
I was good with Six joining. I thought, you know, Hogan, Six, and the Outsiders. That's
because Six was part of the clique. You know what I mean? Like,
it just made sense. Something that kind of made sense. The next match. Yeah, and this was a highlight of the show for me. I truly did enjoy it.
DDP with the fucking rib injury that lasted longer than my marriage. Jesus.
His ribs are still taped up today, as a matter of fact.
They are still taped up. That's why he started doing DDP yoga. Yeah. He was trying to heal his horrible rib injuries. But Macho Man with Elizabeth, this is like Elizabeth.
Dude, this is when Elizabeth takes on that status of like that babysitter you used to have when you were a kid that you had a crush on.
Oh, yeah.
Or like somebody's aunt that like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were good times.
She'll never turn heel in my book.
Are you boys done?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Listen,
anyway,
I composed a novel about Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah. Blade's about to go camping over there with that tent.
Not true. So it's Macho Man versus Diamond Dallas Page in a lights. What is it called? It's called a
Las Vegas sudden death match.
Yeah, which is weird. It's basically just a last man standing match.
Yeah,
it's just a last man standing match. Macho bumped like crazy in this match.
He did. I loved, okay, did anyone else catch 5 minutes into the match, Dusty goes, these men have been out here fighting a long time tonight. It's going on long. And it was like 5 minutes into the match. I'm like, Dusty, what the fuck are you
My question was, this is when they make it into the tombstones. And DP hits him with like a clipboard, and he says, he waffle-legged him.
Oh, they wobble-legged him or something.
He says it so many times, and he's like, oh, that thing that the waitress brings. And
the waitress tray.
He hits him with the waitress tray.
Yeah,
and then even Bobby and Tony are like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He just keeps saying it, and I have no clue what the words were. I think it was waffle-egged. I don't know.
This was the match that they're fighting in the crowd, and a fan just rips his fucking shirt off.
Yeah.
And then he looks like he's about to like chuck it back into the crowd, but he has that moment of like, oh shit, this is the only shirt I have like right now.
I'm not actually part of the show.
Wrestling fans in the 90s, man, like
they're crazy. It was very college dude crowd.
It was
like very, and like it's like the height of the popularity of the NWO as
I
well.
want to
So
know, this guy rips off his shirt in the crowd. If I did that now, I'd get arrested and put on a list.
yeah, you would. My favorite part is actually where they're brawling in the tombstones. I really enjoyed that. You know, they're destroying the set.
Super cool.
I love
It
that
looks
set.
cool. I liked that DDP. I can't remember what he did. Did he just body slam him like through the casket? The casket just explodes
With the waitress thing.
That was pretty cool.
It's like so obviously just styrofoam after.
Right. But it felt significant when he hit them with the waitress tway. That was
so cool.
Well, Miss Elizabeth smashed one over the fucking ref's head.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Now, okay. So that was, to me, as a long, somebody who would watch Miss Elizabeth for intently for years. That was a really big moment because she never interfered in matches. She just never did.
Right.
She never, and she breaks this fucking glass tray over the ref's head.
Call Blade the North Face with the way he's pitching tents out there.
Whoa! Fair. But yeah, she gets very involved, and then she tries to choke out DDP with a cable,
the microphone or the camera cable.
Yeah. She basically Roosh's entire gimmick is based around Miss Elizabeth. I didn't know that. But yeah, she finds her strangling cable, and then
You
she
mess with the bitch, you get that cord.
But eventually, so that's right. So then eventually the ref gets distracted by Elizabeth and a Sting.
Kimberly showed up too at some point.
Kimberly showed up and dragged Elizabeth to the back. And then a Sting that is later believed to be Hulk Hogan.
Which you should have been able to tell because of how soft he hit him with that bat, man. Anytime Hogan had to hit someone with a fucking weapon, it was like dink.
Yep. Didn't look like it hurt at all. It also looked like a rubber bat. So
yeah, it looked very
like he could have laid that in a little more.
Very
and
bad.
DDP can't get up. He fell and he couldn't get up, and then match over.
Yep, it was a good match.
And then
Though.
Savage,
it was a fun one.
It was a fun match. I thought this was a good one.
Yeah, it was like for the era that was like as good as that type of wrestling was going to be.
Yeah,
you know,
it should have been the main event.
You know, we'll point out a spot in the next match, but like Macho was on this night. He was on. He was fucking cooking a little bit.
Isn't this the one where like the story goes that DDP like left him some beautiful message on his voicemail about like you made me basically? I don't know. Was it this match or is it just the feud in general?
I think it's just a feud in general.
Okay,
Macho had an affinity for DDP because DDP actually thanked him and said, "You gave me my break. Like, thank you so much." And so Macho was like, basically said like, "Nobody's ever said that to me before. Like, thank you so much." And it like really like touched him. And so like he always worked extra hard with DDP.
Think about the wrestling business. Then and now, there's a million differences, but just the simple fact that someone said thank you was the first time in Randy Savage's entire life that someone had thanked him for something.
Oh, man. I don't know what that means, man. Yeah.
I'm going to take him under my wing.
So we got to get to our expert rookie on this one. Books.
So this was my third favorite match of the night. I was very impressed. I understood the story here. So good job everyone else for like actually explaining why like he had like tape on him. Like I got it. Like I was like, okay, good. I actually felt like they hated each other, which I liked. Listen, I may have given Macho Man his shit for his vocal fry, but holy hell, that guy can wrestle. Like
one of the greatest.
He's one of the
greatest.
greatest.
You didn't give him shit over the shoe polish that he used to dye his hair, though.
Well, I didn't know that, so.
With his fucking bald spot, looking like John Cena.
It's just so freaking fried. His hair was as fried as his voice at that point.
Yeah, no, the hair fry is very real. Yeah.
I was shocked at how in the crowd they were. Like when they made the bump into the barricade and then like we're over, like they were very much in the crowd, which you kind of see now, but they were not. They don't.
Well, that's the thing I feel like is different nowadays when you get like crowd brawls is they keep it very much to like the aisle way, you know?
Yeah.
But like back in the day, they used to just be right in the fucking middle of people, like swinging chairs
Cool.
and shit. Like,
Shocked.
Mhm.
And then my last note on this is, why is that guy ripping his shirt off? This is exactly why I did not watch back then. What is this nonsense?
Well,
is that how it's fucking go?
and the nonsense reached its apex actually after this match in the next match.
Oh, well, why don't you slide us right into that next match, Blaine?
Yeah, it didn't slide right into anything, Brett. It was a very dry insertion. But we have.
Do you know what a screaming seagull is?
Oh my! I don't want. I'm scared to know. Go ahead, tell us, Brett.
Hold on, what's the question?
Do you
repeat
know
it.
what a screaming seagull is?
No.
It's when you dip it in sand first at the beach.
Oh my Jesus Christ! Who would do that? Like just for the purpose
I had
of
a friend
hurting
in high
someone.
school who used to know all of these shits, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time on Urban Dictionary.
You're like, he's in jail now. You're like,
he's a I think he works for Pepsi. He's like one of those guys who puts the Pepsi out on the shelf.
you may
at
remember
stores.
him. He was the shaman of MAGA on January 6th.
Hey, maybe he can get Jericho on this podcast.
Yeah, you can get Jericho on his pod. Yeah.
I will say
right.
him and I did like kind of like drift as friends because he was getting into that like I'm just sick of liberals complaining about everything.
There you go.
So woke.
Yeah. And you're like, hey, don't get sand in your vag about it. So, don't be a fucking screaming seagull over there.
Oh my
But,
God. So we could just not even talk about the main event because it's not really worth it anyway.
all right. So the main event in the year 1997 of our Lord.
And the reason why I never bought another WCW pay-per-view ever again.
Yeah, was
The
Rowdy
first
Roddy
move in the
Piper.
match is Roddy Piper biting Hogan on the ass cheek.
Okay, so it's a cage match. It looks kind of like a Hell in the Cell, honestly.
It did, yeah.
This was the same month as that match.
Was
Did
it?
you guys
No
notice that?
shit.
It was in
No,
October.
yeah, wow.
That Shawn Michaels Undertaker match happened maybe 2 weeks before this. And so
I had an observation, and like I think one of the reasons I was so much more into WWF as a kid was like while they were doing stuff with like Undertaker and Shawn Michaels and like the Nation of Domination and all that kind of shit, like WCW was just all old people almost, It was people who had been wrestling since like the 70s.
And they were doing the most boring fucking matches that you can imagine.
Yeah.
the main events of WCW were shit. They were always shit. And now we've watched like how many of these NWO era pay-per-views? Like 3?
Yeah.
Every main event is the same. So much stalling, so much just nothing happening. 5 minutes
Adjusting
of
your
actual
waistband.
wrestling.
Roddy Piper's gonna bite you.
Well, and so Roddy Piper comes. So Hogan just like struts on down to the ring like nothing's wrong, like everything's fine. But the minute that Roddy Piper walks down, Roddy, by the way, is just on HGH or something. Like he's like really, really big. For like what I know of Roddy, he's kind of a skinny dude. That's like Roddy's thing, But he comes in the ring looking really serious. They just punch each other, and Roddy gets like blown up like immediately. Like he goes straight up, fucking Ultimate Warrior, Lex Luger getting gassed like 3 minutes into this match.
Meanwhile, Hogan's like a little spider monkey out there climbing the cage.
Hogan looks like
the
a
whole
fucking
match.
spider monkey compared to fucking Roddy Piper. Hogan's climbing the cage, and I'm like, that cage. It reminded me of the Great Khali's thing,
the Punjabi prison.
the Punjabi prison cage. It doesn't look sturdy at all. And
No.
like you should not be climbing it. And finally, Piper like gets his wind back. Hogan's like fucking jungle gymming all over this goddamn thing. Piper's biting his ass.
Well, Hulk's the king of the swingers. Ooh, the jungle.
Yeah,
VIP.
yeah. I mean, It's none of it's entertaining or good in any way.
No.
Hogan's acting like a chicken shit, but looks like he's physically dominating Roddy Piper pretty much.
I did love that, like, how close the cage was to the fucking crowd because fans could, like, reach into the cage. You had that one dude who was super annoying the whole night, who had, like, every fucking toy for every match that he was, like, showing in the crowd. Right. But he had that badass, like, airbrush Papa Shango like sweatshirt on. That was my fashionable fan. I forgot to do fashionable fan. It was that guy, even though he annoyed the shit out of me all night. He was in
my notes too.
That fucking Papa Shango airbrush sweatshirt was dope as fuck.
So they punch and kick each other for a very, very long time. When they're actually doing anything. Or they're just like, Piper's chasing Hogan around on a jungle gym kind of thing. Hogan at one point climbs and gets all the way out, pretty much. He could just climb back down. He has Piper dead to rights, like he's beaten. But no, fake Sting comes out. And they're like, it's Sting, or is it? And it's like all of their hair looks so fake.
It's like the most Party City like wig on.
It's like these are $2 wigs, dude. Like this.
Well, what was the final count at the end? There was like 6 fake Stings, and like none of them did anything. They just like stood there.
None of them did anything.
Post match, you get the fucking fan jump in the cage.
Yeah, and one of the Stings points his bat at Hogan as he's trying to climb down. So it really looks like Hogan loses because he could have won. Like, he had Piper beat clean, but he had to climb back in the cage because Sting interfered. And then Piper just puts him out with a sleeper and wins.
Yeah.
Which was the second time Piper beat him, but not for the title.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
Again, no internal logic.
No.
Right. Oh, Piper also carried the belt down to the ring.
Right.
That's Hogan's belt.
And they didn't do any legal business for that. There was no notarized letter.
Nope. And then after the match, like Hogan jumps Piper.
And then a fan jumps the cage.
And then a fan out of nowhere. And I'm like, is this a plant or something?
I couldn't tell. Like, I could see that guy in the crowd all night. And then he just fucking sprints up the cage. And like, but the way everyone was acting, I thought it was a real fan because they were like, fuck, get this guy out of here. But then Hogan's like, no, let me pop him one, brother.
Yeah, and then they kept the camera on him for so long that I was like, well, maybe it is a plant. Like, because why wouldn't they just cut the camera away from him?
The way this show cuts out, there's no way that was planned. Like, that's a real fan, for real.
Yeah, it
like,
doesn't seem like it makes any sense.
The coolest part of this entire match is the way Macho Man gets in the cage.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Well, I was cracking up at first because the door is wide open, and I'm like, why is Macho Man scaling the cage when he could just go in the door?
And Macho Man climbs to the top of this fucking beat up, rickety ass cage. He jumps somewhat safely. Piper moves. He hits Hogan kind of. But the fact that he jumped from the top of that thing, which was very tall.
And he didn't even like hesitate either. Like he didn't even have a moment of like, oh shit. He was just like, fuck it, here we go. Oh yeah.
He was so energized by that DDP match. He said, thank you.
Was it the DDP match or the bump in the back afterwards?
Yeah. It was the thank you that he got. That was what inspired him.
Yes, he's powered by gratitude.
Booger sugar and gratitude.
I'm feeling so good.
The way he lands and everything, it's like Savage wrestled so much more than Piper, so much more than Hogan.
I was shocked he didn't blow his fucking knees out on that landing.
Exactly. I wouldn't do this spot. He's probably my age when he did this spot. Like, that's crazy.
I was about to feel as bad as I did when I kept bullying Bronson Reed into jumping off the fucking War Games cage and he blew his legs out.
So anyway, this fan climbs the cage after all this, and the camera's all over him for some reason. The security's all over the fan, and Hogan's like, get the fuck out of the way. I'm going to beat the shit out of this kid.
Yeah, he did.
And Hogan starts beating him up. And you know this is real because the fan ain't selling anything. Like,
no, he's just like, fuck.
If anybody's on booger sugar, it's the fan. Like, he is on something.
Yeah, it was $2. It was $2 MGD night at the fucking
That
garden.
fucking scaled that cage so fast.
He
did.
He did.
It's like, holy cow, man!
He was on meth, I bet you. I bet you he was on meth.
Oh, it was
And-
the 90s, man, in Vegas.
Yeah. There was a lot of crank going around back in that
Just
day.
full of fucking casino buffet steak.
That dude looked like he hadn't eaten in a while, honestly. But
Oh
like
my
he
God. And
he
that
scaled
fan
this
turned out to
cage.
be Darby Allin.
Yeah. Oh my God. Darby would need to like really try to race this guy up the cage.
Oh
But
my God.
then he comes down. Hogan beats the shit out of him. Savage wants a piece of his ass too. And this guy keeps trying to get back up, and the security guys are like, dude, stay down. And
Yeah.
Piper is like handcuffed Raven style to the
Oh,
cage.
yeah.
But the people can reach in and they're kind of slapping him in the back and shit. It's just absolute clown shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's so dumb.
Fucking
And-
cloud shoes.
And the Stings are all just standing there. Nobody does anything. This guy, this fan, has also got the Sting face paint on.
Like one of the Stings was just like holding like Macho Man's leg and like not even trying to like pull him or anything.
Oh, that was the other thing. So then there was a Sting that got involved.
Yeah.
And he had the
And-
pantyhose on his face.
Yeah.
Well, he got beat up by Savage, I think, or somebody,
Yeah.
right?
right.
And then he's
just
wearing
out
like
cold.
pantyhose on his head.
Yeah.
And he's the
And
guy that
then
stops
he
the
attacks
fan.
the fan.
Yeah. So what did the
Shit
resident
show.
expert, the rookie expert think?
I wrote, did we know at this point wrestling was fake? Because this is ridiculous as hell. What the fuck is happening? I wrote, is this guy a plant? Why is he there? Are we supposed to know he's there? I basically had a hard time with this because I hate Hulk Hogan a lot and I could barely pay attention to it. And then I said, wow, there's so many Stings. And I said, is this supposed to be a joke? Is this supposed to be funny? Do we know that wrestling is fake or real at this point? Because is this supposed to be funny?
This was my
And then
wife
I
came
wrote,
in on this match
Hulk
and
Hogan.
had similar views. Just what the fuck is this? Why was anyone
What the
watching
fuck?
this?
If I watched wrestling back then, I wouldn't watch wrestling today. Because this would have ruined it. Because that's how like god awful this was.
Hey, I saw Mae Young give birth to a glove, all right?
Yeah. This match is actually only 13 minutes and 37 seconds long.
Yeah, it was a quickie.
It was just slightly longer than Lex Luger versus Scott Hall. It's shorter than Kurt Hennig versus Ric Flair. It's shorter than Eddie and Ray. And it's shorter than Randy Savage versus DDP.
And it's the main event.
And it's the main event. And the champion lost and didn't lose his title.
Yeah. There's a lot of matches on this show tonight where my notes just say, like, this match went longer than it should have. Like, everything reaches its logical apex, and then it just keeps going and going, and nobody seems to know what they're doing.
Well,
Except
that
for,
was,
like, the Ray
that
Eddie
was
match.
just the whole company at the time.
It was. Well, even all their
Yeah.
promos are like that. Like, you can tell they don't have anything scripted out. They're just like, it's like listening to me do a fucking podcast, but it's a pro wrestling show every week. They're just meandering, and then at the end, it just sort of peters out, and they're waiting for somebody else to come in and save them. Blade.
I was going to tell you to shut the fuck up. But thanks for queuing that up for me. But Brett, you want to... We should probably tell the people I'm not going to be here next week.
Yeah, so
I'm going to be on vacation, so no hard way after this episode for a week.
But after that, we'll be back the following week with another Halloween Havoc. I don't know which one yet, but one of them.
An even harder way.
Yeah. We're doing Halloween Havoc the whole month of October,
Leading
so
up
be
to the
prepared
hardest
for that.
way. Mhm.
Yeah. But we're doing Halloween Havoc all month, so please
You know, there's a
join
movie
us.
called 3 the Hard Way. Anyway.
Oh, boy. Christy, you should join us for another one, I think. I
Yeah. I will, because my only positive it says the commentary feels oddly comforting because of Tony Schiavone. I guess this is how WCW fans feel watching AEW, whereas I'm having the I'm watching this and I'm feeling that nostalgia.
This is why whenever
But it's
anyone
opposite.
talks shit about my boy Tony Schiavone, I get upset, man. I
Yeah, me
love
too.
Tony.
There's a lot of hate for Tony Schiavone, and I don't get it.
I don't get
don't
it
get
either.
it.
I fucking love
He's
Tony
great.
Schiavone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Books. Tell the people where they can find you.
Oh yeah, I am on Blue Sky Threads where me and AEW are BFFs. Instagram and TikTok as Books and Bodyslams. Also pay attention to our friends channel, Don't Call Me Diva, because starting in a couple of weeks, something extra special is also coming out on that channel. Featuring me.
Ooh.
I feel like Books and Body Slams is going to be involved with that somehow. I don't know.
But no, not, you know.
Who's the third guy?
I'm on TikTok now, too, by the way. I Blade Daily on TikTok. Follow me, and I will probably annoy you with my old man posts.
To a degree, you got anything you want to...
I mean, I'm just on Blue Sky. You can find me. I don't do the TikToks or the other things. Just Blue Sky. Holding down the fort for the sickos, baby.
And it's me, Pegme_Bundy on Threads and Instagram, and that's it, because I don't really give a shit. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Bye!
Sickos Club.